Chapter 94, Great Wealth and High Rank, Task Settlement, Selecting Divine Power. Brother Han, your name has already echoed throughout the Dragon Sparrow sect. Yet I am still an ordinary alchemy disciple. It's quite shameful, said Gao Qiqing. A year had passed, his once youthful face had become much softer, and his tone carried a hint of envy. To this, all Han Yi could do was smile. He could not comfort him, but instead attempted to change the topic. Brother Gao, do not belittle yourself. You are now honing your alchemy on Yangshen Peak. If you become a skilled alchemy master, your day will come. Numerous cultivators spend hefty amounts for precious elixirs. Gao Qiqing responded with a bitter smile. Don't remind me. Ever since I joined the sect, I can't even accumulate enough spirit stones to purchase a pill furnace, let alone make any significant progress. The competition on Yangshen Peak is beyond your imagination, Brother Han. There are many disciples here, more than the main peaks combined. Mastery in pill refining requires control of the pill furnace and the understanding of the real fire. Only by mastering the furnace can one follow the elders in learning the ancient pill scripture. Real fire, on the other hand, requires opportunities. After listening, Han Yi got a general idea and asked, so, the promotion of the alchemy disciples depends on the pills they refine? Gao Qiqing nodded. Yes, the better the refined pill, the higher the level, the more complex the elixirs you are able to refine. The closer one is to becoming an inner sect disciple or even a direct disciple, entitled to one-on-one training with an elder. Right now, most of the teachings are from senior disciples, instructing the basics of alchemy. Han Yi could understand this competitive approach of nurturing disciples. So does Yangshen Peak require a lot of spiritual medicines usually? A lot, a huge amount. Gao Qiqing stated seriously, we need a sea of it because countless pills fail every day. The number of spiritual medicines imported each month is astronomical. The majority comes from Bihu Peak. Some disciples cultivate them themselves, while others are purchased from other sects. Some special spiritual medicines can only be grown in specific areas. As for me, due to my poor skills in alchemy, I am usually tasked with purchasing the required herbs each month. Oh? Upon hearing this, Han Yi asked casually, I happen to have a batch of spiritual medicines. I wonder if you need them. Halmic, spirit gathering grass, dragon sleep grass, blazing sunfruit, and several other types of spiritual medicines. There are 50 fruits and over 100 bundles of the herb type. What? Upon hearing this, Gao Qiqing widened his eyes in shock. So much, Brother Han. You may not know, but the demand for dragon sleep grass is far greater than what we manage to cultivate. It requires a long cycle, half a year to mature, and yet the demand for it is huge. Its supply is always far less than the demand. Are you really saying you have hundreds of bundles? He wasn't aware that Han Yi could plant spiritual plants. Having researched the market prior to cultivation, Han Yi naturally had surplus dragon sleep grass. Of course, I do. He took out the harvested dragon sleep grass from his storage ring and showed it. Where did you get them from? The sight of them surprised Gao Qiqing. I grew them myself, albeit a bit more than expected, replied Han Yi. He chose to provide spiritual medicines instead of directly offering elixirs mainly, because offering spiritual medicines wouldn't result in sect penalties, unlike with elixirs. Simply put, offering spiritual medicines doesn't interfere with Bihu Peak's finances. However, providing elixirs to other cultivators at low prices directly competes with the sect's finances, which Mount Duo Bao obviously wouldn't tolerate. This is unwise. You can only offer a small amount of elixirs. Providing too many would result in a decrease in the price of elixirs, but there are no such restrictions for spiritual plants. The more, the better. That's the real way to make a fortune. If possible, Brother Han, I'd like to take all the spiritual medicines you have. It'd be helping the sect by procuring these in advance. Otherwise, if I can't gather enough spiritual medicines, I'll be punished again, Gao Qiqing sighed. Punished? So if you can't gather enough spiritual medicines, you'll be punished? Han Yi heard of this for the first time. Yes, Bihu Peak has a limited cultivation quantity for certain spiritual plants, and we need to compete for them daily. If the quantity is insufficient for the disciples to practice alchemy, the elder would be very displeased. Yangshan Peak has the most elders amongst the main peaks, with dozens of them all masters of alchemy. Offending them is unwise. To Han Yi, this seemed akin to competing for vegetables in the early morning. With a smile, he reassured, "Don't worry. In the future, if you need any spiritual medicines, notify me a month in advance and I'll deliver them." Recalling the large areas of unused spirit fields on Pure Yang Peak, he felt that he had new work to do. "Brother Han, could you bring out all the spiritual medicines? I need to check the quantity." "All right." Hanya took out all the spiritual medicines from his ring and handed them over to the other party for checking. Gao Qiqing inspected them, checking them bundle by bundle. After a while, his eyes were filled with confusion and he exclaimed with a note of surprise, "When did Brother Han learn to cultivate spiritual plants? Moreover, these plants have been well cultivated, they're very well grown." Over the past year, he would head to Bihu Peak every month to select spiritual medicines, which had trained his discerning eyes for quality. "Indeed, that's good." Han Yi flashed a light smile. This business deal was turning out to be pretty effortless. He wondered if it had anything to do with his attribute, as he observed a green attribute appearing on his panel. Great wealth and high rank green, wealth is rolling, booming business. As wealth changes, so does fortune. Money breeds money, interests generate interests. He was naturally blessed with luck in business. The more he earned, the wealthier he became. Over 100 spiritual medicines, no problem at all. Here are 5,000 lower grade spirit stones Brother Han may check. These are the spirit stones entrusted to me by the sect every month. I was worrying about where to buy spiritual medicines, and Brother Han just solved a big problem for me. Gao Qiqing gave a bag of spirit stones to Han Yi, feeling a great sense of relief in his heart. Purchasing spiritual medicines was an arduous and exhausting task and didn't attract many volunteers. "No worries, if more is needed, remember to find me." Han Yi stored the spirit stones safely, his face showing a rich smile. Having sold off the excess spiritual medicines he had, his spirit stones had reached an impressive number. Having slain quite a number of demon cultivators, along with this sale, he had now accumulated over 9,000 spirit stones. It seemed like a large amount, but also a small amount. If you want to buy a spirit tool, you need 300,000 spirit stones. Next, he headed to the task hall, settling his demon hunting mission evaluation points. Previously, the sect had divided them into teams to slay demon cultivators, accumulating evaluation points that could be used to exchange for rewards. Their team had 2,500 points, enough to exchange for quite a few items. He hadn't had the funds to visit Duo Bao Pavilion before, but now that he did, he could buy some useful things. Buying equipment and updating his skills were both necessary tasks. Teams with 2,000 points or more can get a chance to enter Duo Bao Pavilion and select Foundation Establishment Divine Powers. Looking at the latest announcement on the entrance of Duo Bao Pavilion, Han Yi was considering his options. Not only could assessment points be exchanged for rewards, but they also granted an extra opportunity to select divine powers. The sect was being very generous this time. The only divine power he currently had that was really useful was the Hanshin 5 Elements Gang, while the Supreme Limitless method was an excellent cultivation method. It didn't count as a technique, but rather a means of preserving one's life. With that thought, Han Yi stepped into Duo Bao Pavilion. Feeling like a big spender, he first bought several talismans that he had previously been afraid to splurge on. The Golden Sword Talisman, an Earth-grade defensive talisman, releases an attack equivalent to a full strength strike of a Golden Core practitioner. The Swift Speed Talisman, a profound grade functional talisman, allows one's speed to become very fast, comparable to a peak Foundation Establishment cultivator equivalent for fleeing. The Golden Bell Talisman, an Earth-grade defensive talisman, can withstand attacks from anyone below the level of a Golden Core cultivator for the duration of one incense stick. The Black Jade Pill of Earth-grade high quality can heal any cultivator below the Golden Core realm from severe injuries, whether it be disjointed and broken bones or acute poisons that induce hallucination. It could restore their body to its initial state. These extremely practical talismans and elixirs for preserving life cost him 3,000 spirit stones. They were one-time use items, but they were important and irreplaceable. As Han Yi passed by the areas selling divine techniques, he quickly became attracted by a divine power called 3,000 Thunder Seals.